It's an age-old proverb: the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. As the gap between the high and low income groups widens, it's natural to wonder what it is that the poor are doing differently that's hindering their financial advancement. The answer may surprise you. There are actually a number of things that the poor do that the wealthy tend to stay away from. Here are 15 of those common practices that can explain why those below the poverty line stay there. 1. By not investing in the stock market, one may be missing out on potential returns that can greatly increase one's financial security in the long term. Additionally, not investing in the stock market can greatly limit the number of financially savvy options one has in terms of increasing and diversifying one's overall net worth. Furthermore, when it comes to long-term planning, staying out of the stock market can result in fewer growth opportunities and a much larger risk of missing out on potential gains. The stock market can be a perplexing and intimidating endeavor, particularly for those with a lack of financial expertise. Fortunately, there are numerous resources available to help those without the knowledge, resources, and risk-taking capabilities that come with investing in the stock market. From online tutorials to actively managed funds, these can provide an easier and more affordable route into stock market investments. At the same time, it is important for would-be investors to thoroughly research their options and understand the nuances of the stock market before making any decisions. With the correct mindset and guidance, any individual can invest in the stock market and reap the many benefits such a venture can bring. With a bit of commitment and the right tools, investing in the stock market can provide a significant opportunity to maximize potential returns and increase both short-term and long-term financial security. Though it may require a bit of learning and research, nearly anyone can benefit from investing in the stock market. 2. Sticking to low-wage jobs is often a reality for those from a lower income background. This can be due to the limited job opportunities available, which prevents them from seeking higher-paying positions. The wealthy, on the other hand, have more opportunities to pursue business ventures and more varied job opportunities. This can be seen in the language used by the wealthier population. They often have a more diverse range of job titles and access to educational opportunities, which allow them to use a more varied vocabulary when talking about their work. For those from lower income backgrounds, this can create a sense of feeling disadvantaged, as they are unable to access the same resources and opportunities available to wealthier individuals. This can be seen in the way they usually talk about their profession in a more limited, static way. The language used does not necessarily denote an inherent preference for low-wage work, it is simply due to not having access to the same options as others. It is important to consider the stark contrasts between the opportunities available to those from different backgrounds. When talking about professions, this can appear in the way each population speaks about their jobs. Low-income individuals may be drawn to low-wage work due to limited job opportunities, whereas wealthier people may pursue higher-paying positions. This language difference can lead to a feeling of inequality, as the wealthier group generally has more access to unique job opportunities. 3. For lower-income households, consumer debt is often the only available source of access to credit. Credit cards, payday loans and other short-term solutions are typically the only avenue available for them. However, these options often come with exorbitant interest rates that can quickly spiral out of control, trapping individuals in a never-ending cycle of debt. Even if the individual successfully pays off all their debt and begins to accumulate wealth in the form of savings, the fact remains that any unexpected expense could throw them back into the cycle of owing money that they cannot pay back. The financial burden of consumer debt can have serious implications for both individuals and society. Low-income households often have to choose between paying for basic necessities such as groceries and paying off their debt, putting a strain on both their financial autonomy and their mental health. The costs of service on a loan or credit card can quickly accumulate, leading to a cycle of poverty that can be hard to break. This, in turn, places an additional burden on social services to assist those in need. It is essential to recognize that lower-income households are more vulnerable to the harms associated with consumer debt and develop effective solutions to help them out of the cycle. Policy intervention to limit the damaging and exploitative practices of lenders, as well as increased access to fairer credit and financial literacy education, could provide more equitable access to financial resources, allowing more individuals to reach financial stability. 4. Building an emergency fund is one of the key differences between the wealthy and the poor. Without it, the poor can quickly find themselves in difficult financial situations without a safety net to rely on. When unexpected bills arise, the poor often don't have the savings necessary to foot the bill, leaving them no other option but to borrow money or miss a payment. These ill-advised practices can quickly spiral out of control, leading to large amounts of interest or potential damage to a person's credit. In comparison, the wealthy usually have the financial resources to take care of most financial bumps in the road. By having an emergency fund, they can pay for new expenses without having to rely on borrowed money. This can save them hundreds, possibly even thousands in interest that would have been lost with ill-advised borrowing practices. A healthy cushion of savings also allows them to take advantage of opportunities that limited cash flows can't. Building an emergency fund is a sign of financial responsibility, and plays a key role in the success of both the wealthy and the poor. Even if it's just a few $100s, having some money squirreled away can make all the difference in a person's financial security. Without it, individuals can quickly find themselves at the mercy of debt and interest fees. It's no surprise then why building an emergency fund is a cornerstone of personal finance. 5. Not maximizing retirement savings. This can stem from mistrust or inexperience with investments and savings accounts, as well as from a lack of time to research and understand them. The wealthy, however, are almost always well versed in the benefits of tax-advantaged accounts and investments in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. 6. Not maintaining good credit. Poor credit makes it more difficult to obtain loans for buying a home or car, which can limit one's ability to build long-term financial stability. 7. Neglecting insurance. Lower-income households are often not able to take full advantage of health or life insurance, which can lead to large, unexpected expenses in the event of an emergency. The wealthy, however, are always well covered. 8. Living paycheck to paycheck is a common issue faced by those with a lower income. The source of this issue is often due to limited resources rather than a lack of budgeting skills. Those who are wealthy are in a better position to plan and save for their future due to the larger budget they have at their disposal. Facing a lack of funds can be a very difficult time and can often leave a person feeling overwhelmed due to their inability to save for the future. People in this situation often find themselves unable to think about anything beyond the immediate needs. With a tighter budget, essentials such as rent and food can come at a great cost. Learning to budget and plan ahead can be an important tool to tackle this issue. Taking the time to calculate and optimize resources is a great way to ensure a secure future no matter income level. Financial literacy is key, as it can put people in a better and more independent position in the long run. Being able to save money for retirement and other long-term investment opportunities is important to achieve financial security and stability. 9. Foregoing professional help. Everyone could benefit from a financial advisor, yet not everyone is able to afford one. The wealthy, however, often have the resources to hire a coach, accountant, or other financial consultant whose job it is to help maximize profits and minimize expenditures. 10. Buying only generic products. Many of the poor are limited to generic brands, while the wealthy can often afford, and enjoy, name brand products. 11. Failing to budget. Without a budget, it's easy to overspend and to fall into the trap of credit card debt or other expensive borrowing solutions. Those with higher incomes are far more likely to understand how budgeting can help them better manage their money. 12. Skipping meals. In some cases, the poor may opt to skip meals in order to make it to the end of the month on their limited salary. Unfortunately, it's these same individuals who are most in need of a balanced diet. 13. Shopping for deals. Bargain hunting can seem like a smart decision in the short term, but it often leads to buying low-quality items that have to be replaced more often. Hence, the rich are more likely to buy higher quality products that last them longer. 14. The lack of a game plan is a significant factor in determining one's financial success. Those who produce a concrete plan of action, listing essential goals and outlining how these can be achieved, are more likely to be proficient at managing their money. Achieving financial success is not always easy, but it can become far more achievable when this plan is put in place. Without it, greater financial struggles can loom in the future. Those with higher incomes typically possess greater financial literacy and are more likely to understand the importance of financial planning. They are also more likely to have the resources required to reach their financial goals. Those with lower incomes are more likely to be focused on present needs and use limited financial resources to get basic necessities of day-to-day life. Additionally, they may face other obstacles, such as lack of knowledge or access to financial or investment opportunities to boost their income. It is essential that people of all incomes are aware of the importance of having a financial plan and equip themselves with the necessary information and knowledge to set achievable goals and take the necessary steps to reach them. Establishing a budget, creating goals and taking the necessary steps to reach them will not only help them to ensure a better financial outcome in the present, but it will also help to protect their future. Doing so can empower individuals to take control of their finances, regardless of their level of income. 15. Panic spending is a prevalent issue faced by people from lower economic backgrounds. When unexpected expenses arise, those struggling to make ends meet often react by making financially draining spur-of-the-moment decisions. This is in sharp contrast to the wealthier demographic, who are able to take the time to analyze the costs and benefits involved before deciding how to proceed. The reality of economic hardship forces many people in poorer households to forego the luxury of weighing their options, instead resorting to costly decisions that may have been avoidable. Although some may rely on credit cards to cover these expenditures, this can create a domino effect of ever-escalating debt. Such drastic financial decisions can set people back by months, years, or sometimes even permanently. Without the necessary funds to cover emergency expenses, those living paycheck to paycheck are pushed further into financial insecurity. The poor are disproportionately affected by panic spending, and it can be crippling for individuals and households. Without access to the right tools and resources, sometimes difficult choices have to be made, decisions that may have much heavier consequences than anticipated. It is important to build wealth literacy amongst all income levels to ensure that the proper financial strategies are in place when inevitable costs arise. Although there are of course exceptions, it is generally true that the poor are more likely to do things that will thwart their financial growth. Taking a long look at these 15 common practices can help those in need of financial assistance to better understand how to make changes in their mindsets and behaviors that can help lift them out of poverty.